Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Energy Research Lab. We are in Unit 1, Chapter 1, Lesson 2, Investigating Energy Claims. We are going to split this lesson into 2 days. In the first day, we are going to go over arguing in science, and in the second day, we are going to make arguments in claims for certain investigations. So, during the warm-up, you should have received this letter where it says, Dear Student Energy Scientist, people use the word energy to mean a lot of different things. In an everyday sense, energy can mean excitement or having what it takes to run a marathon. In a scientific sense, energy has a specific meaning. Energy is the ability to make things move or change. Please use the scientific definition of energy to revise your thinking about what has energy. Sincerely, Morgan Lewis, Lead Energy Scientist, Energy Research Lab. Now, the main thing you should have taken away from that is that the word energy. The definition of energy that we will be using all year long is the ability to make things move or change. So if you look back at the list, some of your thinking might have grown a little bit. Like food might have switched from not having energy to having energy because it gives you the ability to move or change. Now we're going to go over that list a little bit later in the course, but I want you to keep this in mind with energy. Move or change. So we're going to start with the argumentation tool and argumentation and reasoning tool. Now this is going to be very important all year long because you will be writing many responses and you must use this model of CER, claim, evidence, reasoning. You already do a lot of argumentation in your life. I know that the word argumentation might seem negative, but in science it's actually a very positive thing because it allows you to have discussions or discourse with other people and get more insight and actually use it as a way to grow your understanding of something. You might change your mind because somebody might give you a stronger argument, or you might be able to change somebody else's mind about something. You use argumentation in your daily life, like trying to convince your parents about something, or to convince your friends, or to defend yourself from something. So this is something you already use. Today and tomorrow, we will be working on the investigation question, how do you know something has energy? So a scientific argument is a way that scientists find the best explanation for questions about the natural world. Scientists observe and ask questions. Then, when they have an idea about how something works, they make an argument to support that idea and their thinking. Today, we will learn about the practices scientists use when participating in argumentation. We'll use the charts to help keep track. Normally, I would post this on the classroom wall, but you'll have these available to you in other places, such as Google Classroom and such, so not to worry. So scientists ask questions about the natural world. There are many different questions a scientist should ask, and these are just a few examples. Why do things move the way they do? Why do different materials have different properties? And what causes substances to change? Now, notice these are mostly why and what. There's also how and when, and questions like that that can also be asked about the natural world. Science gather information about the natural world and use it as evidence. Here's a key connection. Information is evidence to help answer their questions. A proposed answer is called a claim. Another connection, answer, claim. So right now we have two portions of the CER. We have the claim is the answer, and we have information is the evidence. So we're missing only one part, which is the reasoning. And I'm actually going to show you in the next example how come reasoning is such an important part. If I have the answer and the evidence, why do I need reasoning? And this is actually part of the argumentation. It's what changes a response to an argument in science. So an argument begins with a question, has a claim that proposes an answer, and then the evidence supports the claim. And then the last piece is that you have to clearly explain how the evidence supports the claim. So that's the reasoning part. So here's a little visual representation, right? So if you see, the question is on top, and then in red it shows the claim, and the reasoning is what connects the evidence to each other and back to the claim. Reasoning is what makes you see, like it's an explanation to the person who's reading. Now, this may not seem important, but I'm going to show you in the next example here. We're going to evaluate which argument is a stronger argument. Now, the question is, how does drinking cola affect your health? So we have the question, and the claim says drinking cola is bad for your health. Okay, we have an answer or the claim. And evidence, cola contains caramel coloring ingredient called 4-mel. We have evidence. Now, if I didn't know any better, I would be questioning, well, why does 4-mel even matter? There's a lot of things in food that they put in there that really don't matter. So why is putting 4-mel so bad? You didn't really convince anyone by telling them it has 4-mel. All you did was tell them, this is evidence, this is true, but you didn't convince anyone to change their mind. So this reasoning tool, which you will get, there's evidence, which is the 4-mel. Then we have the reason section. This matters because. That's where you're going to write your reasoning. Then, therefore, is your claim. So notice that there's only one box for therefore, because you really should only have one answer for this section. So let's look at it on the chart. So evidence contains 4-mel, and then there's a blank spot where we didn't really explain ourselves. Therefore, drinking cola is bad for your health. Now let me add that section. 4-mel is a food coloring that causes cancer in lab rats. Many things that are bad for rats are bad for other living things like humans. Therefore, drinking cola is bad for your health. Adding that reasoning, that explanation on why what you found matters is what makes your argument strong. So you need all three parts. You need evidence, you need reasoning, and obviously you need to answer the question. We are going to use this all year long, and you're going to have some practice in today's assignments to get yourself comfortable with using the CER. Tomorrow, we're going to look at some models and some systems to see if we can answer some questions about energy that we might be able to use later on to help us solve the problem of the energy research team and creating something that can last in all kinds of emergency situations. See you tomorrow.